Hi, Honest Discussion here. Hope everyone had a fun 4th of July weekend, and I'm glad you're all safe, assuming that you are, because it's a pretty bad weekend to be out on the road, from what I've heard. Anyway, before we begin, real fast, if anyone knows how to fix the widescreen here and get my video to fill up the whole page, I'm shooting in 16:9 aspect ratio. I've rendered it in multiple different ways, even ones that specifically say widescreen, and YouTube just doesn't want to extend me to both ends. I don't know what's wrong. If anyone has any insight on that, I'd appreciate it. Now, this is a response to our good friend Monty the Calvinist, a long overdue response. I was distracted with the mid-killer debate, but now I can focus my attention back towards Calvinism, because I actually did want to get more into that, because I find it intriguing, to say the least. Now, for those of you that don't know, Monty kind of started this thing here by posting a comment on my channel page, which basically strawmanned the quote that I have up on my channel page. Basically, I said that science is the drive to discover truth, and religion is the drive to discover things that agree with you. Now, he strawmanned that and said that I'm saying science can absolutely find truth in every way, and all of that sort of thing. And then the logical Calvinist jumped in as well, all of a sudden. So the thing is, what I'm actually responding to is a video that Monty did on me called What is a Redneck Atheist?, in which he calls me a redneck atheist. Now, the atheist part's true enough, but redneck? You know, normally when you insult someone, you don't call Callista Flockhart fat when you're making fun of her. You usually find something that's at least describes the person a little bit, and that really, I don't get it. I also want to know, Monty, that why someone who fancies themselves as an intellectual and someone who strictly follows the laws of logic in his thinking feels the need to use insults so often. Because in most of the messages you sent me, you called me a redneck. And I'm not really bothered by it so much as just curious why you even want to do that, since it applies to you a little more than it does to me. You're being from the South, which is one of the definitions of a redneck, and I'm actually from the North. So, yeah, I want to know why you feel the need to insult me, unless, of course, it's just that you don't feel your intellectual capacities are strong enough to work without insults. If that's the case, then fine. But let me know on that. That's the first point I want to make. The second point is in regards to the whole purpose of his video, which was to point out a logical contradiction that I apparently had. I said that science cannot prove anything 100%, and in fact no methodology can prove anything 100%. 99.9%, sure. But given that we can't really prove that anything outside ourselves really exists as we sense it to be, we can't ever prove anything 100% beyond our own existence to ourselves. I can prove I exist to myself because I think, therefore I am. It's really the only real proof of something that you can have that's 100%. I can only prove it to myself, just like you can only prove your existence to yourself. So Monty brings out the logical proof: no x's are y's, and therefore some x's can't be y. Now, I agreed with this statement, and he says, well, that's proving something, therefore I'm contradicting myself. When I say you can't prove anything, Monty, I'm saying you can't prove anything within physical reality. Abstract concepts don't count. And that concept that you just gave, that law of logic of which we go by, that doesn't prove anything. It's a rule to go by in determining what things are. You're not proving what x is. You're not saying x is this and I'm proving that 100%. You're just naming something, giving it a variable, x and y, and saying that whatever y is, if no x's are y, then therefore some x's can't be y. you're not saying what x is, you're not saying what y is, unless you're talking about just the concept of an x or a y. And then, again, that's not what I'm talking about, because that x doesn't actually exist in reality. If you're talking about a physical x, like something written on a paper, you can't prove 100% that that exists. If you can, let me know. If you have some sort of methodology that can prove something 100% to me or to anyone besides yourself, I'd love to hear it. And then I probably did contradict myself if that's the case. But show me something in physical reality, an event, an entity, a noun, some type of physical thing that you can say this is what this is, or this is how this works, yada, yada, yada. That is what I was talking about. So your whole accusing me of being contradictory was at best a misunderstanding and at worst a deliberate straw man, which you do consistently as far as I can tell. Now, I want to also levy a challenge to start a discussion again, because I don't really think that you are going to really flourish in that type of atmosphere, and I hope I'm wrong. I think that you normally like to respond to one thing I say, strawman it, ignore all other 10 points, and then claim victory because you strawman my 1 point. So if you think I'm wrong, and I'd love for me to be wrong, then let's schedule a time where we can have a stick-up discussion. You can bring whoever you'd like. My rooms are always open to whoever you want. There's apparently some type of pal talk thing that the Logical Calvinist said. It sounds great. It really does, the whole taking turns thing. It sounds much more, how should I say this, a lot more civil than Stick'em can be. Unfortunately, I'm not really cool with downloading software onto my computer, and I don't really want to ask other people to do that also, because I'm sure there's got to be some sort of ad stuff in there. So I would prefer it if it is a Stick'em discussion. And also, if you're going to respond to this video, please respond to all of my points, and consistently do that from now on, and not just respond to one, because I'm going to call you on it, and I won't respond to you until you've at least mentioned the things that I've said. And I'll list them here right now. One, the thing about my contradiction, the X and Y, and how I'm talking about physical reality, not concepts, not abstract terms. Also, why you feel compelled to consistently use insults when you're trying to have an intellectual discussion, and also respond to my challenge. So that's what I have to say to you, Monty, if you're up for it. I have the feeling that I don't think you are. You did invite me to the one discussion, so I could very well be wrong. But I'd like to see how you do in a forum where you actually have to listen to the other person and respond to them, face to face. And I also like to challenge you to try to respond to me without using an insult. Can you do any of that, Monty? I would appreciate it. So yes, that's all for right now. Have a nice day. Honest Discussioner, out.